Welcome to Ordinary People with Extraordinary Stories. I'm Chana Weisberg, host of this podcast. With Simchat Torah right around the corner, some people are wondering, how should we be celebrating this year after what happened last year on October 7th? Can we still dance with the Torah once again? To answer these questions, we decided to take a sampling of several people from past episodes of Ordinary People, Extraordinary Stories podcast and ask them their thoughts. Included, you'll find Army officer, a wife of an officer, people who have lost colleagues and friends in the last several months, a shlucha from Metula who has had to evacuate her home with her community to a different place, a United medic from United Hatzalah who was there on October 7th, helping people, risking her life, and the father of a hostage who is currently in Gaza today. Listen to their responses, listen to their messages, and gain inspiration.
Now I need to choose if to cry all the time on my bed, because all of us dealing with difficulties and we can cry all the time about all the difficulties. But it's my life and I want to be happy. So I want to continue and I want to smile. We need to choose. He gave us our life conditions and now we need to choose. And if you will be sad or happy, it doesn't depend on your life condition. It's depend on your decision, and it's so important to remember that. And I will sometimes split my life into two parts: the things that are in our hands, and the things that aren't. And the things that aren't, the things that we can't change, we need to put aside because it's not gonna change. If we will cry about that, they will come back here? No. And if I will be angry about God, it will change? No. So I don't touch this. I will focus on the good that in my end, the things that I can change, which is what kind of people we will be in this world.
The enemy wanted us to break down and not be happy and not celebrate and not continue with life. They did everything possible to do that. And we have to show them that they're not successful. They're not going to succeed to do that. Even if it's hard, we might dance with the Torah with tears in our eyes, but we'll dance. And it's going to be with a little bit of a broken heart, because soon we're going to reach a year that the hostages are not in their home, and we have no idea what the situation, how many hostages are still alive. There's a lot of questions and a lot of families that I don't know how, one of my neighbors, one of the hostages was Eden Zcharia. She was my neighbor, next door neighbor. And unfortunately, they found her not alive. But Baruch Hashem, they found her and they were able to bring her to Kever Israel to bury her in Eretz Israel. And so I was with her for a few months until she was able to bury her daughter. So it's a very, very hard situation. And our hearts go out for all the families of the fallen soldiers and of the hostages that are not home yet. But we have to continue living, and this is going to be the biggest victory that we will celebrate. We will go on in life. In these months, we see that more and more young couples are getting married and not pushing off. They're getting married even earlier than what they thought, because they want to show our enemies that we are continuing to live. And we are continuing to build another house in Israel. And that's what most people feel. That's what I hear from most people. So we will celebrate.
Right.
But
wow.
Of course,
you will celebrate.
Yeah, with everyone in mind, whoever is not home yet, and with the soldiers in mind. And the Rebbe always taught us that with simcha, with happiness, we could do much more and help much more and give protection to our soldiers and to our hostages too.
I think that our ancient nation went through every terrible things through the past 3,000 years. and our fathers and grandfathers keep all our holidays because the Hamas wants to kill us. They want to they want us to leave this country, and we have to be strong and show them that we are here and we are happy, and we will dance on Simchat Torah with the Sifrei Torah and Am Yisrael Chai.
Wow.
We're not going to give a present to Hamas by being weak and desperate and frustrated. We are going to do the opposite. We are going to dance more than we dance in the past Simchat Torah.
I think we should, and it depends how you look at the festive. Because if you look at it, oh, I'm having fun and I'm respecting the holiday and I'm all happy and jiggly and other people suffering and I should feel guilty about it, then you're looking at it in the wrong perspective. You should look at it as each day we are here is sort of a miracle, and each holiday that comes, it's a miracle of itself, and it's another opportunity for you to spend time with your family. And I learned it on my own flash that you cannot know what can happen to your family the next day. You don't know how the next holiday will look like. If it's a year from now, if it's 2 days from now, you don't know. And well, Judaism is all about respecting life and appreciate what you have in life. So every holiday that comes, then you should appreciate it for itself, and also to take this time to say, okay, so the next holiday it will be better. I could achieve things better than I did last year or last season or last period of time. And you look at it this way, and yes, you need to celebrate. It's not celebrating on top of other people or on top of other suffers or anything like that. It just you respect and appreciate what you have right now. A big decision that we made during the war and after the October 7th, while I was processing my own trauma and everything, and one of the things was that my husband told me, we were discussing it, and he said, we have to bring life. I mean, we saw so much suffering and so much death, and we have to bring life. And I said, okay, let's try to bring another child. It will take time, and apparently it didn't. So yeah, so now we're expecting another kid, and the coming 7th of October we will have our third child with us.
Our response is what Hasidus always told us, what the Rebbe always told us. We don't fight darkness with darkness. We don't fight. We don't remember by lack. We remember by filling in. Simchas Torah is a time that we're supposed to be happy, joyous, and the way to remember what happened is by adding in joy, adding in simcha, is by bringing more people into go find somebody, bring them into the joyous occasion, and within the joy, we'll remember and we'll celebrate the loss that we've had. But I definitely don't think that we mourn or lower the joy or lower the celebrations. I think on the contrary, we have to add in light, add in simcha, add in joy, and that is the best way to remember and heal from what we've gone through.
So you mean you remember those that have passed away by dancing and by celebrating Jewish life? Is that what you're saying?
Most definitely. Somebody once came to the Lubavitcher Rebbe with a suggestion that to remember the 6 million Jews that fell in the Holocaust, that we should leave an empty seat at the Seder table. And the Rebbe said, in contrary, you want to remember the 6 million people we lost, and 6 million Jews that we lost in the Holocaust. Go find somebody who's never been at a Seder and bring an extra chair to your table. Don't bring an empty chair. Fill another chair. So if Simchas Torah is a time of joy, we need to add joy, not decrease in joy.
The nation's response can never ever be to, even for a moment, to sit and wallow. On the individual level, it's not only important, it's not only needed, it's a mitzvah. To sit there and mourn, and you don't go to pray, you don't sing, you don't go to concerts. It's important you sit there and you go through the motions because you are a human being and you lost somebody close to you, and that's important. But as a nation, as an army, as a unit, as a family, as a community, as Dolev together, the response after somebody was killed, the government said we're building 2 new roads, and we're going to have 2 new roads that are connect Jerusalem to this place to show the to show the terrorists among the Arab population, which happens to be a majority, that you can't stop our actions, you can't stop our existence. We're going to add 2 new roads. And the next day afterwards, obviously to comfort the family, hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of those lined up with flags, not only Israeli flags, but posters of support of I'm going to take on a new good deed for this person. I'm going to continue his light forward. That is our response as a nation. And so I think it's quite the opposite. This Simchat Torah has to be the happiest Simchat Torah in our nation's history, because that's the way Hashem wants us to go forward as a nation. That is our call. That is the nation's response to tragedy. It's to go forward, just like I remember, and with this I'll close, a few years back when there was that shooting in a Poway synagogue, and the Chabad rabbi actually lost his finger. And his response afterwards was, I think it was around Hanukkah time or Pesach, the amount of piluyot, the amount of activities and events and curriculum that worldwide Chabad synagogues did was unbelievable that year. I remember our synagogue in Potomac, I was home then, I don't know why I was home, I guess before the army times. But I remember we did a Hanukkah candle lighting and the Pesach Seder was huge. That is our response as a nation. That you try to put us down, we will replenish ourselves, we will strengthen ourselves twofold. And I really hope that the nation takes that message to come into the Simchat Torah. I know I myself, whether I'll be in Gaza or Lebanon or a training base or on uniform or out of uniform, I will be dancing the hardest I ever have this Simchat Torah.
If we have a sad and gloomy Simchat Torah, it's letting them win on that battlefield. And I think it's very interesting that one of the ways that I like how people explain what trauma is where you have some sort of experience and then you become fixed on only one interpretation to what the situation was or what something involved in the situation was. Let's say someone was experienced a car crash, so their immediate connotation or
interpretation.
Yeah, interpretation of like anything related to driving to a car is like fear, I'm gonna crash again, I'm gonna kill someone. It's all around that. There's no other option. They can't see the situation as I'll drive my kids to school, we'll go for a trip, I'll be okay, everything will be great. There isn't any way to understand it other than it will be bad, someone will die. And if we had a trauma on Simchat Torah, and we did, and we understood Simchat Torah as something very traumatizing, very painful, so much loss, and then we go ahead to the next Simchat Torah this upcoming year, and we stay in that headspace, we're just sinking into trauma and we're not treating ourselves. Giving Simchat Torah a new interpretation, understanding that what happened doesn't affect what will be in a bad way necessarily. We can grow from it, we can change it. That's healing. So I think that's our mission as a nation.